You are listening to The Bad Boy Radio Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. This is that real shit, not that fake shit. The only radio show that's not afraid to tell you the truth about the game. This is The Bad Boy Radio Show. Remember, the truth is inside you.
All right. What up, people? What's poppin'?
What up?
You have tuned into The Bad Boy Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. Miles, what's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Back up in this bitch. You feel me?
All right. So, listen.
What's going on with you, though?
Ain't shit, just out here getting it popping, just trying to, make things better in this world. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy, just out here making it happen, man.
This is the first show of 2019, right?
Yeah, it is. I think actually,
it's the first show.
The first show of the fucking year. You feel me? And we started.
So all the best in 2019, man.
Exactly. We started off right because today we're gonna be talking about what can we learn from this R. Kelly situation. Okay, we gotta really dive deep and see what's popping out here in these streets. You feel what I'm saying? But before we get into all that, right? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into some news. All right? So you guys are listening to The Bad Boy Show. Yo, you still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the woman you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.
Introducing Ital Roots Jamaican Roots Drink, a perfect blend of health-enriching tropical fruits and naturally powerful male libido-enhancing herbs. Voted best-tasting roots drink in the market and made from superior high-end holistic natural materials. The main ingredient in Ital Roots is Cheney root, a well-known tropical aphrodisiac discovered in Jamaica for men with low energy or low sex drive. It's very high in iron content. This makes it excellent for cleansing and building up the blood cells wherever your body needs it. Buy on Amazon.com or JuiceForLifePlus.com. That's juice, the number 4, life, PLUS.com.
All right, people, we are back on The Bad Boy Show. And remember to check out our other show on Patreon called The Confidence Show. So you go to patreon.com/The Confidence Show. So make sure you guys check that out, where we talk about confidence, happiness, success, just everything in daily life. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you guys check that out. All right, people, we are back on The Bad Boy Show. So today we're talking about, what can we learn from this R. Kelly situation? Okay. Now, first, before we get into all this, let me just say, we don't support, R. Kelly messing with young, underage chicks. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, because I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, you're defending R. Kelly, you're defending this guy, and you're defending." No, you understand?
Right. We're not defending anyone.
Exactly. Right. We're just talking about what you guys need to sort of see and look at and notice what's going on with this whole situation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of shit going on that you might not realize, because people are so caught up in the whole thing of saying, oh, well, R. Kelly is a pedophile and he's this and he's fucked up and this and this and that. But there's a lot of things that's going over people's heads with what's going on in these situations.
You got the chick. Like me personally, my basic opinion on the whole thing is that people see R. Kelly, who he's a powerful man in music. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's very powerful in music. He's been making hits for a long time. He has an extensive catalog, and on top of that, at this point in his career, he's not under any record labels anymore. Mm-hmm. Okay, the company that he first signed with was Jive, and I think at this point he may have a partnership with Jive Records, but he's not under a contract to say, well, oh, you got to produce these amount of albums and all of this type of shit that he's locked in. So anything that he does now is basically him.
Right.
You understand? If he makes an album, if he does a show, it's all him. He has a team of people that book his shows. He's doing shows all over the world, making mad bread. He's making a lot of paper.
Right.
And it's just like what we were talking about with Kevin Hart. It's like they have to figure out a way to control you. Okay? They have to figure out a way to control you as a powerful. It's the same thing with, that's what I was saying earlier. You can compare him to a Michael Jackson or a Prince. It's the same thing that was going on with those guys. Those guys, like Michael Jackson, owned the whole Beatles catalog. Like Beatles music don't stop playing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Beatles catalog don't stop making money. A nigga like Prince, as soon as he went back in to make some type of deal with Warner Brothers, who he left their record label and then came back to deal with them, then all of a sudden he ends up dead. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Right after Michael Jackson, purchases the catalog to the Beatles, he ends up dead. So it's like they're using these things to control these powerful. Because let me tell you something about music. Music is easier to distribute than movies, because movies, you got to think about vision and sound.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Vision and sound. But the thing with music is just sound. Music is just sound. So you're able to distribute it easier. You can reach more people, because more people will have a CD player than they will have a 50-inch screen TV. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
More people all over the world, even in third world countries, they don't have a way to play music when they don't really have a way to watch TV. So you have to take into consideration the amount of influence, the amount of power that these artists have when they have such an extensive catalog, when they have such an influential talent to bring music to the world. You understand? And and like I said, he's not signed to anybody. He's doing his own thing at this point. He's graduated from the lowly artist to now he's running his own shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, this, now the underage thing, there's a lot to be thought about in that, because in major cities, the age of consent is 18, right?
Right.
But in a lot of different states in the United States, the age of consent is as low as 16. Okay?
Right.
Is as low as 16. Now, R. Kelly is from Chicago. The age of consent in Illinois, which is the state that Chicago's in, the age of consent in that state is 17. You understand?
Right.
Now, R. Kelly also has homes in Atlanta, Georgia. The age of consent in Atlanta, Georgia is 16. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, because I heard people say, oh, R. Kelly's like, he's such a pedophile. He used to, go pull up to high school with his, Lamborghinis and shit, and spit game to the high school chicks, and take them out and run game on them and recruit them and all of this shit. And I'm saying, if the age of consent is 17 and R. Kelly likes to fuck with younger chicks, where do 17-year-old girls spend most of the time?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And again, I am not consenting or supporting doing that. I wouldn't do that. You understand? Personally. But what I'm saying is, he's within the bounds of the law doing what he do.
Right.
As long because the chicks in high school, you got 2 more years in high school. If you're in the state of Georgia, you have the age of consent at 17. So that's age 17 to age 18. That's your junior year of high school and your senior year of high school. Right. So him pulling up to the fucking high school, it may look bad on the surface, but if you check everything out, he's actually not doing anything wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
But see that
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but see, that would take critical thinking skills to even
exactly.
which most people don't even. They're just like, oh, he's a pedophile, but it's like, yeah, and I'm sure there were certain situations that I think even the girl who was saying that she had a threesome with him with another girl, and she was saying that the girl she had a threesome with him was underage. You feel what I'm saying? So in that
Right.
situation, that's fucked up because that chick is underage. But also what I find interesting is that same girl who had the threesome, she also was having sex with an underage person, but nobody's talking about her. You see what I'm saying?
And no, but that's if she was underage, because the girl says underage. That means she don't know what age the girl actually was.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's all over the place. You see what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? And then now you know, and then we get to the part about Aaliyah, and I remember they showed the clip from when they were on the BET show with AJ and Free, and she was promoting her album Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Right. Now listen, the name of her album is Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
Right.
Okay. The record company that she made this album with promoted her as a 15-year-old artist.
Mm-hmm.
This was their promotion. This was their hook to bring people into listening to Aaliyah's music. You understand?
Right.
Now when she was on the show, they asked her how old are you? And she said that's a secret.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I can't tell you because that's a secret. The reason why that's a secret is because when she signed the contract with her company, the company told her, with her record company, the company told her, you have to play this for as long as you can, that you're a 15-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm. Right.
As long as you can, you have to. And I have to double check, but I think she might be from Georgia. I mean, from Georgia, or one of those Middle America states. Mm-hmm. And in those states, like I told you, the age of consent goes down all the way to 16. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and people don't think about this, but from the top, think about how long back in those days, especially how long it took to make an album. Mm-hmm. It took probably a year to actually make an album, and then you have the release of the album. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then
right.
the promotion of the album. And then you're going tour. How long do tours last? Tours last like a year or more. Mm-hmm. These artists are on tour for a year or more, promoting an album, doing shows, and all that shit. So imagine she was working on her singing. Mm-hmm. She got to the record label when she was 15. Mm-hmm. It took her a year to make the album, and R. Kelly helped to produce. So then she was 16, and then she's promoting the album, doing everything, doing the tour for another year. So by that time she's 17. Mm-hmm. And what do we know that the legal age of consent in Chicago, where R. Kelly lives, is 17.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if R. Kelly decided that he wanted to start a relationship with this girl and she was with it, he wasn't doing anything wrong. And then they talk about, they forged the marriage certificate. Yo, I know, I do weddings. I'm a photographer for weddings. I know people who have been married. Mm. I've seen the process. You have to verify you need to get a marriage license, to apply for a marriage license. You have to have your Social Security and your birth certificate to apply, because the marriage license is a state given document. You understand? If you've ever been to a wedding and you hear the preacher or whoever, what do they say? They say, by the power vested in me by the state of such and such, right, I now pronounce you man and wife. Mm-hmm. So these things are state law. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the wedding license, or the marriage certificate, it says that she was 18 and R. Kelly was 27.
Right.
So and remember, these documents, R. Kelly been to court and they brought this evidence up in court. So if the document wasn't valid, if it wasn't verified, then they could have took R. Kelly to jail a long time ago. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
For forging a marriage license. Mm-hmm. So people, they're just not looking at this shit. They're not looking at anything critically. They're just automatically labeling him a pedophile because he's fucking with girls that are just over the age of consent. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the thing. That's what I'm thinking, because I'm like, I know that in the music industry, they do that a lot, where they put your age lower than what you really are to market you to a younger demographic. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They've done that lots of times with many different.
They do that with many artists.
Exactly.
In the entertainment industry, period.
Mm-hmm.
They do that all the time.
Right.
They be in interviews and they ask the person how old they are, and they tell them 2 or 3 years less than they are, because they want to youth sells.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Youth sells, because what happens with music and entertainment? After you reach a certain age, the younger crowd ain't fucking with you no more.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. So they could have done that with Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course, even Jay-Z. Remember remember when he was beefing with I think it was Cameron or somebody, and it was a big deal when Cameron came out and said, "Yo, how you still rapping and you over 40?" And when Cameron said that, everybody was like, "Oh shit, we didn't even realize Jay-Z was that old."
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was way back then when Jay-Z was beefing with niggas like Cameron. That was like, before Jay-Z got to the point where he is now. But now Jay-Z's age, and it's not really a big deal. But back then, Jay-Z was, with the music he was making, they were marketing it to teenagers. They was marketing it to younger adults.
Right. That's why they always say, he always be like Young Hove, and all these rappers have Lil in front of their fucking name. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's you see what I mean?
Aaliyah's parents now, her parents, her family, her blood family.
Right.
Her mother and father wrote a letter to Lifetime and expressed to them that they're upset with the documentary, because they're still using Aaliyah's name in the narrative. You understand? And they're upset that Aaliyah's name, she's dead, rest in peace. They're upset that they're still basically dragging her name through the mud and all of the bullshit of this whole R. Kelly thing. You understand? And they wrote in the letter that their daughter Aaliyah didn't do anything fraudulent or illegal in her whole career. She did everything. And they were saying that when she first got her record deal and was touring and doing everything, they went with her on all of her tours and was with her at all times, because they knew the dangers of the music industry. So they stuck with her when she just started as a young girl, and they were with her at all times. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They made sure they watched over her, and they knew for a fact that she didn't do anything fraudulent or illegal in the whole situation. And they would like for them to fucking change, leave her name out of it. You understand what I'm saying? Now these are her parents saying this. These are her parents saying this, so that means when she decided to marry R. Kelly, she actually was 18 when she did that. Because if she wasn't, then that's fraud. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
And how your daughter gonna get married and you're not a part of the situation? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They wrote the letter to let people know, we were a part of Aaliyah's situation. We were there with her. We kept her safe on the tours. We were there with her. We spent all the time with her. We made sure she didn't go anywhere, crazy or whatever. And then maybe later on when she was like 17, 18, then she started to branch off and do her own thing. You understand what I'm saying? When she actually became a woman, her parents. Because let me tell you something. You even know that to even sign up for a membership at fucking Planet Fitness, if you're younger than 18, you gotta have your parents sign the fucking application for you to sign up at the gym.
Right.
You understand? So how are you putting your name on a marriage license if you're not actually 18?
To the thing where they was talking about how he had he was dealing with these girls, and I guess like the family was saying, oh, I wasn't able to see my daughter, and my daughter didn't, and see, this is the thing that people got to understand, man, is that a lot of these girls that was dealing with him, they were dealing with him by choice. They try to make it seem as if like he had them locked and chained in a room somewhere, whatever. You understand? but they was dealing with them by choice. So what I mean is, they're saying, well, you know, oh well, the girl was saying like, because I was watching this part where he said that she said that they would be in the studio, and then I think her parents would call, and then whoever the runners were in the studio would like pick up the phone, and then they would have to relay it. Right, his team would have to relay it to him first, and then he would say, okay, yes or no, whatever. You understand? And so, but again, this is what people got to understand. When you're a man, right, you set certain rules for your situation. And then when you set those rules, the woman, whoever's dealing with you, is either going to be down for your rules or not. So if she's dealing with you, then she's down for those rules. And if she's not down, then she could bounce. Because I'm sure he basically probably was telling them, like, listen, this is how I want to get down. I need you to call me daddy when we have sex. I need for when people call up, I'm going to, you know, I need to be notified who's calling here. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And who's not, because I am R. Kelly and I'm famous and I don't want a whole bunch of bullshit going around. I don't want rumors and all of this other stuff happening. So I need to know who's calling or whatever. And these are the rules, you know, of my spot. You can't go in this room. You could go in here. You could do this. You can't do that. That's what it is. So, and then, so he's basically probably telling them, listen, if you don't want to follow these rules, you could bounce. But if you want to stay here, these are the rules you have to follow. And so, so they're trying to make it seem like, oh, these girls are victims. But I'm like, yo, you chose to stay because you wanted to be there with R. Kelly. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Because as a dude, let me tell you guys something. As a guy who knows, you know, how to interact with women and who knows how it feels when a woman actually wants to be with you. You understand what I'm saying? And you let the girl know, like, look, to be with me, this is the type of stuff that I'm into, or the type of stuff I'm trying to make happen. That's like somebody saying, oh, you know, Mr. Locario is so messed up because, you know, he has a wife and he has a girlfriend and he was dating other women, and these poor women, they had no choice but to date him and to see him. You understand what I'm saying? They were. That's
what they're gonna put on the dark side of Mr. Locario.
Exactly. They're gonna
that's
be like,
what they're gonna do.
Exactly. They're like, oh my God, he has a wife and his poor girlfriend. She had no choice but to be. No, it's like, listen, this is my rules. This is what I want.
Right.
So
it's like you know, real quick. It's like when you go to somebody's house and you know they got really nice carpet and as soon as you walk in, they tell you got to take off your shoes.
Exactly.
And then you start crying like, oh my God! I went to his house and he told me I had to take off my shoes, and I just felt so violated because you know those were the